Let's see. You guys see me okay? Not totally sure if I'm doing this right. This is my first time. I'm so sorry that I'm 6 minutes late. How rude of me. Let me see. Okay, let's see here. Let me check and see if I'm live. It looks like I'm on live to me, but I have no idea if I'm really am for real. So let me see. Bear with me a minute. Okay. Yay. Thanks. Mia says she sees me. That's awesome. All right, you guys. Sorry, I had a little bit of technical difficulty. I was trying to figure out how to get my keynotes to show you guys very clearly on here, but might not be able to do that, but that's okay. That's all right. Worst things could happen. I still can show them to you. They're just not that pretty widescreen format. Okay, let's get started. One sec. I say that and then I'm like, well, hang on. Okay, for real now. All right, so let me show you guys a slide here. Okay, it's gonna do something weird for a second, but bear with me. I'll be able to show you here we go. Okay, this is what I meant. I can't show it to you like for real because, there we go. I can at least show you that. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about how to have more freedom and abundance in your photography career without having to overwork yourself for months or invest thousands of dollars. And before I start moving forward, I want to ask Mia too. She's texting me. Mia's my assistant. She's awesome. If you guys have questions, I probably won't get to look at them in the comments. I'll definitely read them later, but Mia should be able to reply to you in the comments if you'd like. But Mia, can you see my slides right now? Just want to make sure you can't see me. Okay. So, all right, guys. Well, welcome to my first very own live webinar. I've done them in the past, but never alone. My name is Marissa Boucher. I'm the owner of the Boudoir Divas. And today I'm going to show you how to have the freedom and abundance that we hope to have from owning a business, right? Isn't that the point of owning a business? Well, that's the point, but it doesn't always work out that way. And so today I'm going to talk you through how I changed that and brought myself back into being an abundant photographer. It kind of went away for a little bit, and I'm going to share that with you as well. All right. So I guess I need to kind of introduce myself a little bit, but I should start by saying, I'm guessing this probably isn't the first photography webinar for you guys. The first thing I want to mention is if you feel like your business brings you a lot of stress, it's really not your fault. There's a lot of information out there and it can be really confusing. Many times I feel like it's information overload that keeps photographers from really being able to excel. We never know, we go in and we listen and we learn, but there's so much information that sometimes at the end of it, we walk away with 100 things to do on our to-do list, never knowing which things to tackle first and what to really put our focus on. I know I've had that happen to me in the past after attending workshops and whatnot from people that were amazing, but I left with like a billion notes and feeling a little stressed out from it. So I think it's easy to feel concerned you might not be able to reach your business goals, but I want to put your fears to rest today. You can totally do this. You really just need the right plan, and that's what we're going to talk about today. You have so many hats to wear as a photographer, and you already have so much on your to-do list, but you want to get to a new place. And like I mentioned, every time you see a presentation, you kind of just maybe feel a little overwhelmed after that. I've been there for sure. And I thank God I figured out how to get real results, and not just real results, but it's hard to say, real results real fast. And that's what this whole thing is about. And because I believe there's plenty of business to go around, I mean, there's 3.5 billion women in this world, and I think so many of them should have a boudoir shoot. There is so much business to go around, and the bigger that boudoir gets, the more business there is for all of us. So that's why I never am afraid to share all of my secrets, all of my knowledge. And also it's a huge blessing for me as well, because I've been stuck as a photographer and I've had people help me. So it means a lot to have to be able to help other people. Like, what greater gift is that? So maybe you don't shoot boudoir, and that's fine, but I still think you're going to get plenty from this webinar if you shoot any kind of portraits, even weddings, all of it. So for my goal for this webinar is to share what I felt like was a huge momentum shift in bookings and my business, and not just any bookings, but our highest package, our $2,500 package. I've been doing this for 15 years now, and it wasn't until I applied these specific 6 secrets with gusto and momentum that I was able to reach a goal that was this big. I actually haven't seen another photographer out there do secret number 5 that I'm going to tell you about, so you're definitely going to want to stay tuned in for that. Let me introduce myself real quick. My name is Marissa. I've been shooting boudoir since before boudoir was really a thing. I got into it because I was doing all my portraits assignments in school and kind of doing, I'm not gonna say boring, but like the standard portrait stuff. And my friends that were helping me with my assignments, my models, they would always say like, oh, well, how about you take sexy photos of me now? And it kind of started to happen so often that I realized that this was a niche, something that people wanted, and I could like have fun providing it for them. So that was pretty cool. I'm sure a lot of you can identify with that out there. Maybe some of you started doing the whole boudoir thing before everybody was. So at one point I had a $6,000 square foot boudoir studio. And we were grossing over $500,000 a year just from our portraits alone. And I like to mention that the educational stuff we ran as a separate business. So, gosh, so much to tell you. I'm thinking. I want to keep it kind of organized. So in the past 10 years, we've had over 200 photographers fly to our studio to take our workshops. So many of them are names you'd actually recognize, and we've received some crazy testimonials, crazy awesome testimonials from people. And really that just makes my heart so happy. Let me share my screen here with you. Also, I need to mention Miss Kimberly West isn't with us in this webinar today. And that is because my friend here is taking her opportunity to be a full-time mama. I can't believe it. In these photos, I think she had maybe 1 or no kids, and now she has 4 kiddos. And she also lives up in Washington. So she's definitely laying low right now. So that's why you don't see much of her. But as well, she and I have had over 250 people take our online workshop. And we've also got crazy testimonials from that as well. I also do destination shoots every year. Last year we met 8 clients in Greece. Actually, I think it was 9 clients now that I think about it. And we did photo shoots for all of them. And this year we took 6 photographers and 6 models and my staff to Riviera Maya. We rented a big compound by the water, and we ventured out to the cenotes and beautiful areas in Tulum. And we had a blast doing that. So that's what I've kind of been up to lately. So in fact, while there's been some amazing moments, there's also been some really hard times. And I'm going to tell you about some of my previous mistakes here so you don't make them as well. I'm definitely so incredibly grateful to be in this place right now. My business, my work, my photography is all so very life-giving, and it hasn't always felt that way. So if you aren't feeling that in this moment, then let's freaking definitely get you there. Like, that's why you're here right now. So let's do this. All right, so I guess I kind of need to start with talking a little bit about my backstory. This is something that I really haven't shared a lot about because I think it's kind of always hard to revisit some tough times in your life. But I'm going to dive into it because I'm in such a good place right now. But I want to tell you, it's kind of like the title or one of the titles I used for this webinar was how I kind of had to start all over again, which was incredibly hard. Something we know for sure, I think the only thing we know for sure is that life changes a lot. And the only thing that doesn't change is that things always change. And so things are going amazing for our little boudoir studio for the longest time. I mean, like I mentioned, we were grossing $500,000 a year just with our portrait sessions. We had an awesome team. We had 350 amazing clients coming to our studio every single year. I mean, that just blows my mind. We were killing it. And then some things beyond my control started to happen. As they always do in life, I think one at a time, each obstacle didn't seem detrimental at the time, but compounded, it made things pretty freaking difficult for me. One of the first was one of the smaller things, but Kimmy started her, being a full-time mom, and she had so much on her plate, and we had to rework our business deal together. And our big studio went from being, our big studio with her and I to just me. And I think I was in over my head at that point. There was too much to do for just me to do as the marketer and the business admin person. And I really started burning the candle at both ends. Again, that wasn't a huge deal. That's something business owners just do. But it was one of the little things. A bigger thing that happened after that was my husband of 13 years and I decided to get a divorce, which even though it was amicable and we're still friends and it was something we chose together, I think anybody who's gone through a divorce knows that it is so outrageously painful. It's like, I didn't realize that you actually felt like physical pain from it. It's like hot, searing pain that you feel. You're not sure where you feel it, like maybe your heart or your mind or something, but it's like it's there, and it's so hard to go above and beyond past it to deal with your real life. So I really feel like I had the wind out of my sails physically and mentally. Everything just kind of ached. I felt like my brain was foggy. I felt like my life and vision was foggy. Everything just got completely turned upside down. And then on top of that, our lease that we had been in for 10 years, we were renting from an older man who was so kind to us. And he basically made us feel like we were going to be there forever. We were on we were 3 years out from our lease being done, but we had every intention of re-signing another one. And we needed to, I'm not going to go into that, it's boring, but we needed to remodel our space, and we're going to downsize, but remodel. So we spent about $50,000 remodeling the space for it to be gorgeous and everything I dreamed of having for a boudoir studio. About a year before our lease was up, the owner of the building told me that he was selling it and that we needed to put our space back to how it was, the barren wasteland of a warehouse it was before we turned it into this beautiful thing. I really didn't see that coming. I obviously never would have done the construction if I knew he was going to have us demo it afterwards. And this isn't an easy demo. These were like load-bearing walls. It was a huge, like 3-story warehouse that was empty, and we made it 2-story inside. It was amazing. It was like a cool little, like, beautiful war fort inside a warehouse. So if you take anything away from this presentation today, I think definitely always get things in writing, which we all know. Like, we all know this. I know this. But knowing it and actually doing it when you're working with somebody you trust is a totally different thing. So I really learned my lesson there. Had a lot to deal with because of that. You can imagine the expense of not only moving, but of demoing something that you just spent every bit of a loan to put together. It was crazy. So I needed to find a new location, but my loan was maxed out, and my personal savings, thank God, was awesome. Thank you to Boudoir and my clients and the amazing years that we'd had. But I was really only willing to use about 2/3 of it for this transition. And even 2/3 of your savings that you've worked for 10 years to put together is pretty freaking scary. And a new location the size of our old one to continue the high volume, it really seemed financially out of the question. Nor did I really have the energy at that point. But to transition into a boutique studio, like higher end, smaller packages, not smaller packages, but more expensive packages, but less clients, would mean giving up Well, it'd mean giving enough notice to all of our clients who had already paid deposits, who had already booked and paid in full and maybe rescheduled, but not called us and rescheduled. And also all the gift cards that were out there that had been paid in full. So I had to figure out a way to pack them in the next kind of year, I guess, pack them in, but not have any income come in and still basically have the same expenses, if not more, because now we're moving. All I could honestly think was like, oh, and you know what too? I should mention this too. Our team was now smaller. And so I had a lot of help from Lindsay and Ashley, but I was now obviously like in charge of this whole transition, but I was also now the primary shooter. So I would have to shoot a majority, maybe 2 clients every day, 6 days a week to get this figured out. So I feel like at this time, all I was kind of thinking was, oh my God, like, how am I going to get through this? It's almost what I kept thinking at that time is it's like a huge wave is coming at you, a huge tidal wave, and you know that running away from it's going to do nothing. It's just going to make it worse. So all you can do is gather as much strength as possible, run out at full force, swim as hard as you can to just plow through this thing. And I knew I was not going to get out of this unscathed. There's just no way. There was too much work. It was too chaotic. But if I could just get through it still kicking afterwards, then it would be a success. That's what I was thinking. And that none of my clients would know that I was wiped out. And I don't think any of them did, because actually shooting boudoir is life-giving to me. That was like the best part of my day every day. But I needed to change everything, and I wasn't ready. I was so scared. I felt so like emotionally and physically depleted. But even in my sheer exhaustion, I knew that if we were going to move, if we were going to change, I wanted it to be something that was above and beyond anything we had done yet, and something that fit my personality now. Real change even more. So we wanted something a little bit more beachy, bohemian, still sexy, beautiful, but more of like that understated, we can see the decor around us, glammy, but not like how, if you remember our old studio was real extra, that's for sure. So we packed in hundreds of shoots. We moved. I closed the old corporation and started a new one, and we rebranded. And luckily, thanks to the success of the studio in the past, I did that very healthy savings I was talking about to spend on the new loft. And I also had Ashley and Lindsay who stuck by me, even though things were freaking bananas. I mean, crazy. So we started to book these new packages that we call the By the Sea packages. I'm going to talk about them more with you guys in a second. They're basically 3 looks here in our beautiful loft, and then we walk down or drive down to the beach that's just right down the block, and we do a beautiful last look on the beach at sunset in the water or walking in the sand, whatever they want to do. And so a few months in, once we moved here, everything was feeling good. I had regrouped. I felt new life because this place gave me new life. It's beautiful. We had clients flying in for their By the Sea package, which gave me life. And I just really love this new vision so much. And after an exhausting season, that's all I cared about. Like, we were here, we were kicking, everything was good. But then we had another setback, actually. I've always been so diligent about knowing that boudoir has a little bit of a slow season from like November to January, and we always prepare and plan for it. Well, with this huge transition, we kind of weren't able to. So our winter came, and we tried to do sales, which we did, but they weren't profitable enough. And once again, I felt just like that heaviness of our cash flow being depleted. I felt like I was working so hard, and I wasn't at that place of like abundance and freedom that I used to be. And I was just so confused because I'm like, oh, I'm giving it my all. Like, I've given it my all. And I kind of got into that place where you feel a little bit slighted by life, you know? I guess that's like, everybody feels that at some point, but I let my brain really sink into that. And I feel like even though we had accomplished so much and I felt stronger than I'd ever felt, like physically and mentally at that point. Like, if I survived that, I just felt so good. But at the same time, this like failure and loss started to creep in, you know, like I worked this hard. I tried this hard. I'm giving it my all, but I'm still so stressed out. And it was a massive heaviness, that's for sure. I wasn't really sure what to do. I tried different things. We hit our newsletter a million times. I was working so hard, checking off to-dos. But I was losing it. Like I was losing it. My friends and family lovingly would say to me, like, I think it's just time to let go. Like you can do other things. This business is consuming you. It's time to have a real personal life. It was hard. And I kind of felt like the wind had totally left my sails. And one day my girlfriend, Angie, just jokingly said to me, you're so prideful. You're going down with the ship and you just refuse to surrender. And I was like, yeah, like I felt crazy, but I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to surrender. Like I love my business. I love my clients. Like I have had moments where this business has brought me so much joy. I can't just let go of it now that it's bringing me so much, like, I don't even know what words to use, but I'm sure you know what I'm saying based on this long story. Okay, I'm almost done. So then I started to get like kind of hate mail. I didn't know, like that was the weirdest thing. I got one email from a photographer saying, she said something along the lines of, I'm so happy to see that your business has failed and your marriage failed. And she rambled on to say why I deserve that so much. And then another guy wrote me and said, a photographer that had once like kind of just, you know, been encouraging. He wrote and said, I can't even use my pose guide anymore because I feel like using your materials is a fraud because you don't even shoot boudoir anymore. I was like, I don't even shoot boudoir anymore. Like that's a majority of what I shoot. That's all I'm doing. So if I'm projecting out there kind of what I'm feeling internally, that I've failed and that I don't even shoot boudoir anymore, then clearly I'm doing something wrong. And I can't explain what that feeling of like reshifting my focus of like, I'm doing something wrong. There's something I'm doing wrong. I need to revisit some fundamentals here. And I had it. Like, I was like, here we go. This is it. If I thought I worked like hard before, you haven't seen anything yet. Like, I'm going to focus. I am not going down with the ship. I'm going to get out there and fight like crazy. And I'm going to fight so hard and build us so much momentum that we're going to sail like right into peaceful waters. Like we're going to go right through the storm. No problem. So all I really needed was a perfect plan, right? No big deal. Totally easy. So I spent about 6 weeks trying to figure out, revisit the fundamentals, revisit what I did back in the day when we got our business to where it was before, and then revisit some newer things. Like the world is different, the world has changed, and how can I use work smarter, not harder, and use some of those things. So that's what I'm combining today, is to tell you that, oh my gosh, we did it, you guys. We took this plan and we implemented it, and I worked my freaking ass off. And I had to work so hard because I didn't totally know what I was doing. So it was all trial and error. So what I'm going to tell you today won't be that difficult, I promise. But we did it. We did it. Like in 6 weeks, after 6 weeks, we launched our kind of like, I don't even know what to call it, what we done. And within 2 weeks, we booked 16 of our $2,200 packages and 9 more of our other packages that start at $1,500 and other stuff too. And it was like such an awakening. And it's something, what we did is something that we can recreate in waves over and over and over again. And I just felt everything in me just so much joy bubble up. Like I literally I think we even hit it within like 5 days. We were filling in our little goal thing. And when we got to the top, I swear I just like hit the deck on my knees, like thanking God, because I had so much relief and so much joy. And I just felt like I work so hard. We do these businesses. We're entrepreneurs. We don't get to clock out, and we do it so that we can have like some freedom, right? So I felt so much freedom in that moment. And oh gosh, sorry, I'm getting weird now. But anyways, I'm going to share with you today how we got there. Our businesses can be life-giving. They're supposed to be life-giving. That's the whole reason we do them. So, okay. Now the real stuff. Quite the intro, not the typical webinar, sorry. All right, so what's important to note is that all the secrets I'm about to mention were done like one on top of the other. So, well, the things I'm going to tell you are important. Momentum is also important. So kind of maybe scheduling this out like I did, like you're going to hear all this, then maybe you'll make your plan and you'll schedule it out and execute it that way. So I promise that I am definitely going to get to the practical stuff very soon. But before I do, I need to get to actually what I think is like the key element here. And that is like checking your head and your heart with what you're doing. Before I can move forward, I had to get really, really honest with myself. I was very much coming from a place of fear. Like I had these things happen to me. I was kind of angry, not at anybody in particular, maybe just at the universe for giving me all this shit all at once. So I felt backed into a corner. I felt pretty scared. And I started to realize that the fear was what was holding me back. It was like holding me in a headlock. It was a huge resistance for what I was capable of. And in a lot of ways, it really was holding me paralyzed. And it's something that we have to let go of, but we have to fight really hard to let go of it. I think awareness of fear, you have to be aware of the fear and then almost like call it out. So what I mean by that is you might be laughing and think that this is like hippy dippy shit, but it's not. Think about it for a second. One lie I was telling myself was that nobody cares about fine art books anymore. Everybody just wants digital. Or another thing of fear that I hear photographers saying is like all the new photographers are just completely undercutting us and they're stealing our potential clients. So it's something so minor, but that's coming from a place of fear rather than believing there is enough business to go around. I am my own unique photographer and coming from a place of abundance and belief that you are enough, that people will pay to work with you. This is all real stuff. I mean, we put an energy out there. So if I'm putting an energy out there that I'm scared, then my clients are gonna be scared to come to me, right? So, and we put it out there in so many ways we don't even realize. Okay, so how did I kind of transition out of that? Coming from a place where I needed to bring my energy into a place of prosperity, receptivity, worthiness, and into an abundant mindset. First I had to, sorry guys, I'm gonna share my screen with you. It's gonna get weird again for a sec, but then it'll be okay. Okay, let's see. Okay. I had to create new vision. I really had been too scared to even think about what I wanted in the future, or what that could look like. So I made a beautiful vision board. I actually worked really hard on this. I stayed up really late a lot of nights, just kind of making something beautiful and joyful. I also knew that I needed to start off every morning a little bit differently. And I created a mantra that I love prayer and I do pray, but I also wanted a mantra that I could kind of say in the morning while I'm not gonna say I do yoga in the morning. I roll my yoga mat out and I do some yoga moves and deep breathing, and I read and say out loud this mantra. We don't have a lot of time, so maybe I can post that somewhere for you guys so I can keep rocking and rolling here and get to the other stuff. But I just really needed to shake up my routine to get my head out of it. All right, so we're gonna move into something a little more practical. This is gonna feel kind of basic. I am gonna get to some really new stuff towards the end here, but I have to mention, you doing workshops for a long time, people seem really hung up on marketing or being, how to get new clients, I'm telling you, if you're a badass photographer, and I mean a badass photographer, people are going to find you, and you're putting your stuff out there, people are completely going to find you. So how do you do that? I think first you need to really know your fundamentals and your recipes. Can you just waltz into a session and truly feel completely comfortable in a boudoir shoot with your photography skills? We have recipes. We use the first half of every shoot to ensure we nail kind of the most wanted, most flattering poses. We've even named our top selling poses, and we have them completely memorized. Boudoir photography can be really challenging. I mean, you're taking someone who's a bit awkward and uncomfortable in their skin and asking them to strip down in front of the camera, and then your job is to get effortlessly gorgeous pictures. It's honestly not the easiest thing in the world, but it can be if you have these recipes and you have a really solid foundation. Knowing your recipes like the back of your hand allows you to make a session fun, to project amazing energy, and have an amazing shoot with like killer results. So I kind of start the first 15 minutes of every shoot the same. And there's a reason for that. I go through kind of like the most classic boudoir poses on the couch that was behind me. And I run through those and I work on expression, and I really just try and get her comfortable. And there's a reason I have this little like song and dance routine that's the same every time. These are the most desired poses for boudoir. They're the ones that always make the book. Also too, having this little routine allows for me to really kind of watch her and see what her most beautiful angles are. And then it allows me to build rapport with her. So instead of thinking about, oh crap, how do I make her look good in this pose, or really good in this pose, I should say, I'm thinking like I'm just chit-chatting with her and having fun. So then later, the second half of the shoot, we can just goof off and get kind of artsy and try different things. And I already know what her angles are, and we're already comfortable. So you definitely need to know your fundamentals and recipes. The next thing, again, you guys, these probably seem pretty obvious, but I'm telling you, how often are we revamping our online portfolio? Like really, we should be revamping it like at least every 6 weeks. It's very important. Oh, one thing I should mention too. Oh, it's not supposed to say that behind there, but here, let me try and stretch it out. Sorry, guys, my presenter thing wasn't working with this. Right now, we do have a deal for the online posing and shooting courses. These are 4 hours of like in-depth instruction for those recipes I talked about, from lighting with natural light or studio light to posing. And we go through all of our top poses and run through. You see us with real clients. That's available. It's underneath your webinar thingamajig. When was the last time you art directed your own photo shoot? And I mean, like, you chose the client or a model, you chose the outfits, you chose the surrounding, you chose the time frame, you thought about exactly what you're going to do, you created like a vision board for it. I would suggest art directing your own shoots at least every other month. And then that's the work that you put on your portfolio. So you definitely want to include like your typical studio work on your portfolio, but it's very important that you also include shoots that are very unique to your signature style. If you are looking at like your own Instagram and you landed on your page and you wouldn't follow you, then it's time to take some serious steps to take it up a notch. And I'm speaking to myself too. I can work harder with that. People are finding a photographer. I can't tell you how many people find us and come to our studio, even fly to our studio because they found us by searching the hashtag boudoir, you guys. It's crazy. So when was the last time you did it? And if it's been more than 6 weeks, put it on the calendar and make it happen. And honestly, this is one of the most fun things I do, like hands down, the most fun thing, one of the most fun things I do. Okay, and then, hey, Mia, will you text me and make sure you're seeing my slides okay? I think it's probably kind of silly because they're in the keynote thing, but I just want to make sure that you're actually seeing what I'm putting up on the screen and not my face anymore. Okay, create your unique style. I guess that should be create your own unique style, but you know what I mean. And here's the thing with this. I like to think, at least this is what I'm working on, is that when people look at our pictures, our boudoir pictures, they probably usually know like, oh, that was shot by the Boudoir Divas. These days we have a little bit more of that boho earthy element going. We've got kind of our signature outfits that we're doing and jewelry and whatnot that I'm really proud of. I think that style right now is just as important as photography skill, actually. That's what people, it's real big, guys, real big. And if you think you don't have any style, you're wrong. Sometimes no style is style. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. Like look at Steve Jobs. He wore a simple black tank every day. That's not stylish. But it was his bold style and it was his bold statement. And we all loved, I loved it. I loved it. I love that he did that. If you want to revamp your style, oh my gosh, you guys, there's Pinterest these days. Like there's no reason that, you know, you can't. I don't care if you're a 6-year-old man who feels like you know nothing about style. You can, and it's fun. There's fashion magazines. Go and buy the latest fashion magazines and look at the editorials there and then put your own twist on them. And then here's what's the most fun, collaborate with a stylist. So there are stylists out there that are so hoping to get images for their portfolio or resume. And you could reach out to them and say, hey, I will give you images if you style this shoot, and then send her pictures of the model and the date and time and work with her or him. And it will be awesome. Okay. This is kind of the last obvious one before we get cracking into the new stuff. You guys, I can't ever do any sort of educational stuff without talking about your business model, because I just went on that big long spiel about how I was spinning my wheels and not getting anywhere. If you could be doing everything right, but if your business model is not in check, you could be doing $3,000 shoots all the time, but your business model is off because you're doing X, Y, and Z. And you're buying like this fancy album from this fancy album maker, you could still not be paying yourself. Not only could you not be paying yourself, but you could be paying the business, which is so much more painful than not paying yourself. But so I'm just going to touch on this real fast and leave you with a little bit of homework. PPA has some amazing resources. One of the best resources I think PPA has, which is Professional Photographers of America, which I will be there in January in Atlanta speaking. So I'd love to see you guys there. They say that retail studios need to be at a 25% cost of goods. And a home-based studio has a little more flexibility. They can be at a 35% cost of goods. I'm not going to waste our time in this quick little webinar talking through what all of that is. But Marissa and Kimmy can tell you if you, oh gosh, that's loud. So there's a link. Okay,
hi, everybody.
There is a link below this webinar for you guys, for you to watch this video on your own time. It's only 11 minutes and you need to do this. Like this has to be just as important as your portfolio. Go through these numbers. Don't just like gloss over it, or don't just kind of half-ass it. Like it needs to be very specific. Okay, let me take a drink of water and then we'll move on. Okay, this is, I say your brand is everything. Your business model is everything too. So is your photography, but your brand is lumped in there. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit because your brand is not just like your logo or your tagline or your business name. My friends, you are your brand, like you. So you really have to work hard at putting yourself out there. I know it's not easy. I seriously know it's not easy. I think that it's taken me a lot to warm up to having my picture taken all the time and then posting it and being like, hey guys, this is me. But there's a reason people come to us. There's a reason people fly to us. The other day I had a client tell me that she wasn't ever planning on booking a boudoir shoot, but when she came across our website, her words, she said she heard my authentic voice and it changed her thoughts on a boudoir shoot. And then there she was booking our most expensive $2,500 package. Her words were really a beautiful compliment, because I think when you're putting yourself out there, just like this webinar, it's kind of hard. It's just hard. You guys know, everybody knows it's not easy to put yourself out there. It's pretty uncomfortable. But your job is to put yourself out there and be vulnerable so your clients feel comfortable being vulnerable with you. Like I keep saying, we're asking people to take pictures in their underwear. Like, that's terrifying. I'm scared to do that. Okay, how do we do that? One of the big things we did with this momentum launch that we did recently is we revamped our website. And I don't know if you guys know, but our website before was pretty killer, but it didn't fit the times now. So I feel like a website needs to get redone, unfortunately, about at least every 3 years, at least. Or you need to be updating it constantly. I was pretty prideful about our website because I built it completely and it was like this huge world you got lost in. And I was so weary of like Squarespace or Wix and all that stuff. But honestly, you guys, it was awesome. We did Squarespace. I put it together in about a week, just working, late nights after shoots and whatnot. And I really tried to load it with as much content as possible. This is an example of our homepage. So you basically keep scrolling. Oh gosh, keep scrolling down, and then you see kind of like this intro part. I almost want to say like a style board, so you get an idea of who we are. Then this is a great testimonial video, and then we've got like the experience they can look at and know what to expect when they arrive. Client testimonials and their photos. Oh, excuse me, that's actually just their photos. And then we've got testimonials here. And then there's little old me with I always feel bad doing before and afters of people. I feel like it's unfair to make somebody look terrible and then be like, oh, look, I made them look pretty. So I usually just do them of myself. If you guys can see, I'm enlarging this because it's a pretty tragic before. But, and I didn't have to try that hard for that tragic before. It just happened. But you get my point. So the thing with Squarespace is it's so easy. And what's awesome too is you could always get an assistant. And I'm going to talk about this later. There's so many people on like Fiverr or there's so many virtual assistants out there that can help you with this. You basically just load up your content into a Dropbox, talk about what you want, and they could put this together for you and it could be brilliant. Another thing I mentioned going like off of me being right here, this is a message from the owner, Marissa Boucher. You got to put yourself out there. You should be on your homepage. You're not allowed to just lurk around in your about page. Like, no, you got to be on your homepage. You got to be everywhere. You got to be in the behind the scenes videos. You've got to be like with your mantras and your mission statements and your like manifestos all over the place. Like my client said, she heard my authentic voice immediately when she went to the site. That is your goal with your website. No, gone are the days of like you show up and it's like, welcome to blah, blah, blah photography written all third person, which the owner wrote it. I'm guilty of that too. Do you have a tagline? So I think it's really important on social media or like when you do little posts or even like when you get to your website, you need to be, and this should say the Boudoir Divas above this. I just grabbed this real quick, but basically it should be like the Boudoir Divas. Who are we? What do we do? We provide the ultimate supermodel experience. So this is something we thought on real hard. We trademarked it and it's worked really well for us. And so you need to think about what do you provide that is very unique to what you do? And then create a very quick little tagline that goes along with that. Oh my gosh, I have so much more to say about that, but I told you guys I was only going to keep you an hour and we're already way beyond that. So I'm sorry. We're about to be, well, we will be way beyond that. So I cannot talk about video enough. Like these days, video is absolutely everything. And you might be thinking, I don't know how to do video. Video is really expensive. All these things can be true. But the thing about it is that it's at your fingertips these days. And if you just buy, an iPhone 6 or 7, the video on that thing is amazing, especially if you're just putting it on the web. So you could just set up, like buy one of those little phone holders, or I use a selfie stick all the time to get video. I used to set up my Mark IV and get like amazing video of me talking and stuff, which there's a time and a place for that. Like if I'm delivering a beautiful product to my client, Heck yes. Or a really powerful behind the scenes? Heck yes. But I'm also constantly doing videos with our iPhones and using the selfie stick. I mean, you guys will go to, if you go to the abundant photographer options that are below this, you will see some of my sales videos are made just with my iPhone and a selfie stick. It totally works. Or you can ask your friend. I can't tell you how many times I've asked like my poor friend Leia, who's been my friend forever, to walk around and follow me while I talk with my iPhone, or like model for me, or a million other things. But I'll talk about asking for help a little bit more later. So there's no excuse at this point. And video is really what people want to see. They want to see behind the scenes and they want to see testimonials. So they're two different things, behind the scenes and testimonials, or a testimonial with some behind the scenes. Here's an example of a recent testimonial we did. We just set up the camera. Most cameras have videos at this point. Again, like I said, you could do this with your, see if it'll play with your phone if you wanted, but let's check this out.
Hi there, I'm Amy. I'm 47 and I'm at the Boudoir Divas, about to experience another photo journey and a celebration and a gift to myself. My experience here was fantastic. I was, of course, a little nervous at first, as I think a lot of women would be, but the experience was very nurturing, very celebratory. I felt very comfortable, and it was a lot of fun. I'm not a model, obviously, but it's fun to play and pretend, and getting the photos back are just incredible because you see yourself, but you see this version that you'll look back upon and reflect and feel happy about. And this was one of those things that I put on that goal list because I thought it would be very rewarding for me spiritually, and also just the aesthetic feeling of it. And after I researched Boudoir Divas, I was more interested and engaged by the women behind it. And I love to research, so I researched a lot of sites. For me, this site, this company, these people, these women made me feel really proud to be a woman and what I was going through.
Okay, so there's more of that. Obviously, you could find that on our YouTube channel if you go to the Boudoir Divas YouTube channel. But this video is something that we can all do. I mean, you could film this on your camera. Filming these days on our Canons or even on our phones is not that challenging. I know editing seems stressful. I get that. There are actually some options for you. You can completely get help. Animoto is amazing. I'm going to show you guys about Animoto in a second. Fiverr is this resource that has creatives on it that can help you with anything. They can help you with your Squarespace. They could help you, or any kind of website. They can help you with any tech issues you're having. You can send them all your footage and have them edit videos. Of course, I make my clients know, I ask my clients if it's okay if I can send it to a third party to edit their footage. But at the end of the day, if I'm showing their footage for a testimonial, I already have them signing a model release. There is virtual assistants out there that are great at different tasks. Or you could always ask friends to help you video the behind the scenes and whatnot. So it's really just about reaching out and making it happen. Let me show you guys Animoto. Animoto's pretty freaking cool. It's just going to fly through, but it's this website that you go to and you just pop in pictures. You pick a template and then you just pop in pictures. You pop in video. You change the color scheme. You change the text. It's so easy, you guys. I made a video about our buy the sea sale so quick and fast. Let me show you the video we made from that. And I'm telling you guys, this took maybe 20 minutes. And I like it because it's square. guys get the idea. That was created so quickly, which in Final Cut back in the day, I would have probably spent 2 hours making that just right. So again, that's Animoto, this first one here. I think it's really affordable. I think if you did a yearly package, it's like $200, but the monthly is very affordable. Definitely you'll get the money back because people are going to want to book you after seeing that cool stuff. Hang on, it's something else I want to show you there. No, I guess I should move on. It's almost an hour out now. Okay. So this is number 5, I think. I think it's number 5. Anyways, this is the secret that I was telling you. I personally haven't seen other photographers automating the booking process in this manner. And it has been so incredibly powerful for us. I know for me, like women are so busy, or people are just busy in general, especially this day and age. And we want everything like immediately, right? We want, if we're going to buy something, I know for me, if I'm going to decide to do something for myself, something really special, and I go online and I check it out, it's like an impulse purchase. Like I need to be able to buy it right then and there. And if something lags in the checkout process or whatever, or I have to call tomorrow during business hours, I'm not going to do it. But if I can, when I'm Netflixing and drinking my glass of wine at night, be perusing the internet and be like, I'm going to do this, I can lock it in right then and there. I can't tell you how many people have booked our shoots, after our hours now that we've automated our booking process. And let me explain that a little bit more. So basically people go to our regular website, they land on our By the Sea package or whatever maybe our big push is at that time. And then on our By the Sea package on our website, and if you guys go to our website, boudoirdivas.com, and then go to the studio area and then go to the By the Sea part, I think there's a link below you actually. It will pop you into the By the Sea, and then there's a button that says check out the deal that we have now. The deal that we have now takes you into this site that I use. It's a ClickFunnels site. If you don't know more about it, there's a link there that will explain it to you. There's a free trial. It's kind of awesome. But you basically go on here and there's all the booking dates for them with their little freebie. They click on it, they can purchase, they can sign up for payments right there. So, $2,500 is a lot of money to spend on a shoot. And this breaks it up for them, makes it so much more manageable. They even get some little bonuses. And what's cool about this too, is it automates the back-end process. So they will immediately get a customized email for their shoot date with their name. And it will walk them through the booking process as far as the questionnaire and the photo shoot agreement. It will also tell them what to bring for their shoot, how to prepare their skin and hair for the hair and makeup artist. So there's just a lot that that this automates for us. It makes our job so much easier. It cuts down so much time. And then they get that instant gratification of not just the receipt, but also the excitement about the shoot. We don't want to just automate sending them a receipt. That's like want. We want them to start to plan and get prepared and look at our Pinterest board that has all of the lingerie in our closet and all this stuff. So that is kind of automate. Let me see if I can make it a little bit. No, you can't see it still. But if you click on that link, you'll be able to see it bigger. Another important part of automating this whole thing is that if they decide, nah, this isn't for me, when they go to X out of the window, this pops up. So this is basically asking for their information and making sure it's okay to send them some reminders about the sale or get in touch with them later on with other promotions. This is huge, you guys. Like, we have people visit our websites all the time, and if we're not collecting their information, which I'm going to talk more about later, we are just like spinning our wheels. Like there's so many ways that we can effectively get in touch with people. Another way to do this that I think is more affordable. Is that right? This website might be wrong. I'm sorry if it is, but it is Calendly. I just don't know how to put it. If I spelled it in there right, you could Google it. This website I know does something similar. I've never used it, nor do I know anybody that uses it, but I had somebody mention it to me when I was talking about ClickFunnels. So I thought I would put it there to see an alternative. ClickFunnels is definitely, it's doable. Like I put it together and I'm not that tech savvy, but I can walk you through it. There is the option to just get this template and walk you through it, which I can tell you about later. But this is something, you guys, it's a little bit to set it up, but it saves you so much time in the end, like so much. All right, so speaking of saving you so much time, we used to do it all when it came to like advertising, whether it was expensive print ad or like fairs and exhibits at places or networking. We freaking did it all, and it would wear us out. And it was really expensive, and you never totally knew what was going to work per se. What we've been doing lately that has been so much more effective and so much easier on us, I'm going to show you in 5 minutes how you can get just as many clients from Facebook and Instagram advertising as we would setting up one of those huge booths at a fair, which I'm not opposed to that. If you can do it, but I'm worn out and there's just too much to do that I would rather advertise on Facebook and Instagram, and it's so much more effective. And before I dive into that, I want to say too, I meant to say it earlier, if you don't have a call to action on your website, so I showed you that when, you went to exit the window, I showed you that a pop-up came up that said, you don't want to do it, let me get your information. Well, that's on ClickFunnels. But on our real website, we also have a pop-up that once they're on there for like 30 seconds, they'll be asked to give us their information so that we can send them all of our secret specials and deals. We have collected so much information that way, and our newsletter is really where it's at in the way of sales and specials and just everything we do, if I'm honest. So you want to make sure you have a call to action on your website, which is pretty easy with Wix and Squarespace. Definitely doable with WordPress too, just a little trickier, but something that everybody definitely needs to be doing. So add that to your effective to-do list. Okay, so advertising with Facebook can feel a little complex. It honestly does to me a little bit. The first thing I need to tell you about, make sure I've got, is that you need to have a business page. Very easy to set up a business page on Facebook. Most of you probably already have one. The next thing after setting up your business page is you need to set up a Facebook pixel. This is the most incredible little nugget of awesomeness for an entrepreneur. A Facebook pixel is something that Facebook uses to, let's say they put the pixel, or you put the pixel, you embed the pixel on, let's say, your photography website. Facebook now starts watching who is a Facebook member that visits your site. So later on, when you want to advertise and maybe not spend a lot of money, but do a very targeted advertisement, you can just show the ad to the people that have already been on your website. Talk about saving you money, saving you time, the huge question mark of like, am I showing this to people that care? They care because they've spent time on your website. How cool is that? And there's a million other ways to use Facebook pixels, but first I'm just going to show you how to install a Facebook pixel. Sorry, hang on a sec. Okay, so first you just go to the ads manager. Well, you go to your ads manager. You go to, I'm not sure if I have these in order. Yeah, I do. And then you go over to like the tools up here. You drop it down. You go to all tools and you go to pixels. Then it's going to bring up this whole page. It's like kind of like, what's going on here? You go to setup. And then you go to, it brings up this window. You go to manually install the code yourself. You go to copy the entire code and paste it into the website header. So depending on the kind of website, every website has a header. You might have to do a little research to figure out how to get into this header, but you're going to copy all this and don't go in there and delete anything that's in the header, but just put it underneath it. And now that Facebook pixel is embedded in your site, and it's going to take some time. Don't try to launch an ad right away afterwards. Like, let Facebook have some time to collect all the data of who's going to your website. here's what's really cool. Not only can it collect all the data of who's going to your website, but Facebook is so badass that you can use it to create a lookalike audience. So there's a couple different ways to use a lookalike audience. One could be you could lookalike off all the pixel data of people visiting your website. I like to use it this way. I could import all the contacts of people who've had photo shoots with my studio. I could import an Excel doc into Facebook in the ads manager area and create a lookalike audience based off of, in my area, based off of people who have already purchased with my studio. This is phenomenal, you guys. Like this is, I don't even have words. I don't have words. It's that good. Okay. Another thing you could do, which we have done, is you could take the clients that have not just purchased a package from your studio, but you could create an Excel doc of the people who have purchased the most with your studio ever. Essentially, we just went into QuickBooks. We sorted through the people that had spent the most. We exported our, highest paying clients. We made a lookalike audience in Facebook. So it's targeting people that Facebook matches as the same in spending trends and personality and location, just like that audience. Whoa, mind blown, you guys, mind blown. Like this is definitely work smarter, not harder stuff here. Let me show you a couple other things we do. That video, let's see here. Which one is this? I have a couple different things over here I want to show you, but I feel like I'm taking a long time. So that video that I showed you in Animoto, remember the By the Sea one, this one? I literally just made that today. And then I made a behind the scenes video. Oh, here it is. I don't know why there's text there. Sorry. I made that video. And then there's two different ways that I would advertise with this on Facebook. One of them is just sharing a photo or video. I'm going to play this. You're probably going to hear me breathing loud in it, but upload a photo or video and upload that one that I just made today. And then I'm going to just post it, publish it, and then boost it. Okay. So this goes into my normal feed so that I'm just going to pause it because it's really loud. This goes into my normal feed. I'm just going to publish it here like a normal post. But I want this in my Facebook feed just so it looks active and people can see it. Once it's in my Facebook feed, then you go, I wish I could fast forward this for you guys. Then you go later on and you boost the post. So you know how sometimes you see underneath your post on your business page, boost, you just boost it there. I would basically, and this is important, I'm not going to boost it just to everybody that likes my page because I think that might be a waste of time. Well, maybe that's because I have a lot of photographers that follow me too outside of San Diego. What's great about boosting a post is you can boost it to people who like your page and the friends of people who like your page in your area. So two different things. You're boosting it to people who like your page and their friends and in your location. It's pretty self-explanatory. Another way, and this way I like more because I find it's far more advanced and we get way more traction on it, is this. And I made a little video to show you guys because it's that important. Now that was boosting a post. Now we're going to do it a little bit more complex, which I actually liked better. And we are going to go to manage ads or create ads. Kind of same difference. Talked about the pixel. I'm going to go into this account because I have studio and educational, different accounts for different businesses. I'm going to start I'm going to create a new campaign. And I want to start over. Usually what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a campaign for conversions. With my pixel. That's a little bit more in depth, something I teach more with my coaching program. And you can do just fine doing it this way with traffic. And so we're going to do that. I'm just going to name it By the Sea. I'm not
totally sure what all this naming stuff is, so forgive me if that's, watch, they asked me to name things a few times, so you'll see what I mean. Ad set name, again, I'm just going to do like By the Sea sale, because that's what we're promoting. Oops. I want to get them to my website. I want to create a new audience here. And what I want to do is, so I want to send this By the Sea ad to people that have already been to the By the Sea page. So it's kind of a retargeting in the sense that I'm going to, only people who've heard about this package basically or know about it are going to get targeted here. So all website visitors, oh, you know what? I have to do, it's the more complicated way would send them to this specific page. I'm just going to do my website in general, which is just fine with me. So basically all website visitors, I'm going to say in the past 60 days. Nah, let's keep it smaller than that, more. In the past 30 days, we've had a lot of website visitors. Visitors. Okay, we're going to create that audience. See what that looks like. Custom audience was created. I want to create an ad using the audience. Another thing you could do is you can find people very similar, and Facebook does an amazing job of matching users. I do that too, but this is a very simple ad. Make sure my money is really effective, and I'm only going to target the people who have already visited my site. Pretty cool, huh? And so now I just make the website, or the ad, I'm sorry. Why did it spit me back out here, though? That's interesting. Okay, something weird happened.
Nothing weird happened. I figure it out in a second, guys. It's not that bad.
Okay. Anyways, it spit me back out here because of the audience I created. So, got to start all over again. That's okay. I'm going to just do website visitors by the sea. Copy that. And website visitors by the sea. I want them to go to my website. I don't want to create an offer, not today. Website visitors, that's great. So it populated what we just chose. People who live in this location. I don't want to, I want to just target to people close by to me. So I'm going to do perfect. I don't want to target to gals that young. Maybe more like 24 to 55 is our, I'm just going to say 50 to keep it smaller. Women, because this is for photo shoots for our boudoir studio. I could include people that match one of the following. So this is pretty cool. You could include people that are really into like cosmetics or skincare, or just people that are kind of our typical client, but I'm not going to do that today because I think our website visitors right there is pretty specific. You could add a connection type, like if they like your page. I'm not going to do that. And then I'm going to save this audience. I'm going to name it website visitors. Tours last 30 days. Save. There's a lot more we could be doing with this. I teach this a lot more, but we're just keeping it simple. So placements. You could say mobile device only. For simplicity, I'm just going to do automatic placements. Lifetime budget, let's say just $50 for now. I want it to run through the weekend to next week. Yeah, all this stuff I just kind of leave like that.
Okay, guys. So I think that gives you an idea of what that all is. Obviously, that video keeps going, but because we're kind of on a timeline here, I just really wanted to wrap up. Let me get my face back here. Let's see. I think what's really important about these 6 key tips is even if they seem, some of them seem a little basic, right? And that's kind of what I struggled with, was revisiting the fundamentals again and realizing that the game has changed a little bit and I need to elevate myself. I'm not mad about it because I love taking pictures. So that, getting my portfolio up there, art directing shoots, that's fun. That's no problem. And these other things are pretty simple. I fought really hard for these things because I didn't totally know what I was doing. But these 6 steps are something that you guys can implement one after the other and just launch full force. And I promise you, if you really go at them, it's almost deceiving how simple they are, right? That's how I felt anyways. Like when I made this plan, I was like, but that's it? Yeah, that was it, you guys. And it's something that I'm just going to continue to refresh like every few months, maybe launch a different campaign every few months, marketing wise. So maybe not by the season winter, maybe our winter shoots or our loft special or something. So it's pretty dang cool. And I feel so much relief of just having this game plan that I can attack whenever I need to attack it. A lot of it in the beginning is about carving out a season of focus. I don't know if you guys know Dave Ramsey, but he's like, love him. And one thing he says is you need to live like nobody else now so you can live like nobody else later. So if you carve out a season of focus for yourself, that means that it's going to be kind of rough for that season, but it's so that you can enter this abundance and freedom later on after those 6 weeks are up, right? So you might have to kind of tackle your calendar and say no to some things, say no to extracurricular. I even said no to working out, which isn't the healthiest thing, but I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. So it's just about creating a time frame that you can get all this done in and really, really focus on it so that it just like rolls out so quickly and powerful that it's like, whoa, what happened to, so-and-so photographer? What are they up to? People take notice. And that's what's so amazing about this day and age with social marketing and Facebook and our online presence is we can be so much more effective than we used to be. It's just about having that right plan. So hang on a second. I'm going to show you guys my screen again. Hang on. Like I said, it's going to get weird for a second, but hang on. Let me show you this. I am really excited about, for years and years now, I've just been in the thick of things unexpectedly. You guys heard that long story. I wanted to launch a coaching program because I know that I have these tools to help people. And I'm telling you guys, if I got in that weird ass hole I got in because life just sucks sometimes and I climb myself out of it, if I can do it, anybody can do it. You might just need to have some accountability or a coach or somebody to kind of walk you through specifically those things that I did. Some of the things were a little daunting, especially the automating your bookings. That was daunting at first, but if I had had somebody to walk me through doing it, it would be a game changer. And not just that, but it saves you so much time later on, so much time on your computer, frees up your life incredibly. So what I'm going to do is I'm launching, and if you click on the link below, you guys, it'll lead you into another window where you can see it. I'm launching this coaching program, 6 weeks, 6 live masterclasses. That's technically a $2,000 value is what I would do that without this whole launch I'm doing, I guess. Live, you'll get question and answer sessions after each masterclass. There's going to be a pricing workshop and guided business model creation. So together we will run through the numbers as a group together, and you'll arrive at kind of like that sweet spot for you. You're going to get my template. So you saw the ClickFunnels booking automation. You will just get that template where you can pop in all your photos, all your information, your pricing. That's a $500 value. Some bonuses are you're going to get the annual marketing planner. That's $50. Our shooting and posing courses, that's a $100 value. The pose guide, that's a $49 value, and access to all the masterclass replays. So I really feel like this is a place where we can all, as a tribe, elevate together. This is going to be a game changer for all of us, like myself included, because I'll go through it again with like our next campaign, and we are just going to freaking kill it together. And I hope at the end of it, you guys will feel that same feeling that I felt, of like hot tears of joy, of just feeling like the satisfaction of the whole reason you started your own business, the whole reason you're a photographer, you're a well-paid artist. It's a really good feeling, really good feeling. So that's available to you if you click on the options button below this webinar. There's also, this is super cool. This is, we've always had people that flew to San Diego and did like a one-on-one mentorship with me. However, I felt like they weren't getting the full value of it because we're doing it here on my turf. I've always wanted to launch something this major that's basically, I come to you, I don't care whether you're shooting in a home or a hotel or on location, wherever. I will meet you there. We'll have 3 full high intensity days. One of them is going to be a photography training day where I train you as if I'm trying to make you like one of my second shooters here at the studio, posing, lighting, but with your stuff, right? We make it work on your turf, which is awesome. Branding and marketing makeover, even some campaigns. I'm going to help you design and create and kind of elevate your whole marketing. Business model makeover, run the numbers for you, make sure you're profitable, really get you a substantial business plan, business model, I should say, because it's all financials. A promo video, this is my favorite part. We're going to get you photographing a model client testimonial situation, get you looking high energy, in your element, shooting, looking like a boss, and then edit and make you this really powerful promo video that's a little bit testimonial, a little bit behind the scenes. You also get membership into that 6-week abundant photography coaching session. And my travel's included, and the shooting and posing courses included, the pose guide. You also get 1-hour phone consultation before and after, and unlimited Voxer/email consults the week following so that you can get in touch with me. So, okay, guys, I ran over. I promise it's going to be an hour, but I ran over. But I'm so grateful that you guys hung out with me during this. I can't say enough, like, how powerful I think that these 6, like one after the other rollouts are as far as your plan goes. And yeah, I guess that's it, guys. I guess it's time to say goodbye. But yeah, okay, bye. This is weird. Leave any questions or comments below, and I will definitely get back to you, okay? And am I forgetting anything? I don't want to stop the broadcast. I wish I could. Okay, anyways, I'm getting weird. Okay, bye guys. Thank you again for tuning in.